Welcome to News Now. I'm your host, Maribel Carvajal de Salazar. Today we're here with Lieutenant Kristin Daley from the Belmont Police Department. Thank you for
Thank you.
being
Thank you for having me.
here. Lieutenant Daley. After this week's sad news on a woman in Duxbury, we would like to help a community to learn more about the help we can give and we can share this information. Can you please explain more?
Well, unfortunately, we have seen an uptick in mental health crisis that have been going on locally and nationally. And there are ways that people can get help. There are things that can actually help them. Many times, the people don't know who to turn to, and that's where I would like to, we as the police department would like to help them and let them know of the information that they need. The first one would be to talk about warm lines. And that's when, many people can get overwhelmed. They're not necessarily at an emergency crisis yet, but if they maybe don't talk to someone or have someone help them work things out, it can become a crisis. And so that's where the warm lines come in. There are many different ones, but the Samaritan ones is open 24/7. And so that's why we have that number up there. And when you call, there is a trained person, be it a clinician or a social worker, that will help you. You answer the phone and they're there and they'll help you walk through whatever overwhelming situation you have going on and help you with some referrals and, you know, let you decide whether or not maybe if you need some more help, if it becomes a crisis, then there are other options that we have. One of the biggest ones is advocates. They have a 24-hour crisis support, because many times when people say if you're having a mental health crisis, you can call 911. But even some people are kind of embarrassed even doing that. So if you call advocates, they have people also that can help you with your crisis. Sometimes they can help people work it through it, and the person doesn't need to go to the hospital, but other times advocates can help the person get to the hospital. We of the police department also have a full-time clinician she works Monday through Friday, 11 to 7. So 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And she will respond with our officers to all different types of calls. It's not necessarily a crisis. She's come if we've had medicals or someone who just needs someone to talk to. Our clinician is there for them. And when she's not there, we also use advocates ourselves. So there are many different options for when someone is feeling overwhelmed or if they feel like they're in a crisis.
That's right. Thank you, Lieutenant Daley. So please, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel anything that you are feeling right now, please, you're not alone. Check on these numbers, check it's help available, and the police department is also available anytime. You are not alone. Thank you, Lieutenant Daley. Now let's change the topics. How Belmont handled our first storm.
Well, we did. It also was at a difficult time. It was at a time when people were starting to head home from work, which means more cars on the road and more traffic. So we did have some accidents. We definitely had some cars off the road. Thankfully, we didn't really have too many serious injuries, which is the most important. But what we do like to say is to remind people that, when the snow comes, you have to be more cautious. You need to give yourself more room between you and the other vehicle. Unfortunately, many people who think they have SUVs that, they can drive through anything, but ice is ice and slickness is slickness, no matter what kind of vehicle you have. Use caution when you're driving, especially we see it a lot when people are turning or braking is when we see the cars lose control. They brake too fast or they try to turn too fast. And that's when they lose control and unfortunately many times end off the road. And what we also like to say to people, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. Try to plan, maybe do your grocery shopping the day before. I mean, with all the technology we have nowadays, the weather prediction is so much better. So we all knew this was coming. And we had an idea of when it was coming. So perhaps maybe see if you can leave work a little early. See if you can get your shopping done earlier. I mean, the best thing is the least amount of cars on the road as possible is what can really help.
Right, thank you. And talking about cars, we have an increase on car breaks. Can you tell us?
Yes, we did last week in the Fairview Ave, Belmont Street, Springfield Street area. We had about 11 cars broken into overnight. They were all unlocked. Some had a few small items missing, some didn't have anything missing. But the one thing they all had in common was that the cars were unlocked, which makes it much easier for any thief. It takes a moment to just open up the car, reach in and grab something. I mean, think of yourself if you leave your car door unlocked and you forget something that's in there and you walk out, you open up the door, you grab it and you walk and you shut the door and walk away. That's exactly what the thieves do. We also had a motor vehicle stolen in the Upper Concord Ave, Prentice Lane area, where the car was left unlocked and the keys were in it. So that's another big one is people don't leave your car doors unlocked, and please don't leave your keys inside. I know it's difficult with these newer cars that have the push button, and so you just have a fob, and many people will just leave the fob in like their cup holder and for convenience, but then they forget about it and then they leave their car door unlocked. And so please, we remind people all the time, it takes 2 seconds now. You just push a button, you can lock your car doors, and don't leave your keys inside. And also, if you can, take any valuables out of your vehicle so it's not tempting for the thieves.
That's right. Thank you. Please lock your cars. Thank you, Lieutenant Daly.
Thank you for having me.
That was it for today. I'm your host, Maribel Carvajal de Salazar. See you next time.